When your opponent attacks you with his right leg, whether it's to the head or the body, when they kick, catch his leg by wrapping your arm up from underneath. Your forearm now traps his leg to your body. Using your right forearm, hit your opponent at the knee. Just hitting the knee is not enough to take him down if they are strong. He may even be able to push you down. So after hitting his knee, roll your arm on his leg like this. When you roll your arm, there is nothing he can do, especially when you use your leg for added torque. With this technique, you can easily take down your opponent. Just remember to use the power of your legs. Here is another counter to a kick. When your opponent kicks, catch his leg as in kick counterattack 1, then advance forward towards him as you push into his supporting leg. This technique requires you to get low as you push forward. The key to this technique is to reach for the opponent's supporting leg as you step forward. If you step forward first and then reach, the technique is less effective. It must be simultaneous. The third kick defense uses the same leg catch as kick counterattack 1. This time, take your right hand and grab your opponent's foot and turn it over. Now I will use my shoulder to press down and take my opponent to the ground. For this technique, we will also use the same catch as kick counterattack 1. Once you've caught the leg, you can use your hands to attack. Grab your opponent's neck and draw a circle down as you move clockwise. This technique is very effective, especially if you master moving and drawing the circle simultaneously. And you have to move as soon as you catch the leg. With this technique, again we will catch the leg. Once you catch the leg, there are a countless number of things you can do. If you master catching the leg, it doesn't matter if it's with your left arm or your right. When you catch it, they're all the same. Again, the opponent kicks. After you catch their leg, grab here, and with your leg, advance forward. The previous technique we used our hands. This time we use our legs. Sometimes your leg is quicker. With your hands, the power is derived from your upper body strength. With your leg, you use your position and leverage. Once you go in, they will go down. If an opponent attacks you with his right leg, you have to see his intent and move quickly to defend against his attack. You have to block his attack before he fully extends his leg. This is called a kick block. It is a very effective technique. But you must be fast and accurate with your kick. And you need to see his kick with your peripheral vision. Do not look down at his feet, because his kick could be a fake. Always keep your eyes on your opponent and be ready for any attack. So the key point is speed. You must be faster than his kick. The opponent will again attack you with his right leg. First, block his leg with the kick counterattack 6. As soon as you hit his leg, shoot your leg over to his supporting leg. Aim for your opponent's knee. This will take him down. Be sure to block his kick before it reaches full extension. This technique is for when your opponent attacks you with his hands and feet. It does not matter if it's a front or side kick. For this technique, you need to first evade his kick. First evade, then kick his supporting leg. With this technique, do not look down, but see your target with your peripheral vision. You must hit here. Your kick must twist your opponent's knee for it to be effective. With enough force, you can break his knee. So be very careful when you practice this technique. The opponent will attack you with a punch. It doesn't matter which hand, because you can adjust your defense to match his offense. We'll deal with a right punch now. Evade left and parry his punch, drawing a line with your hand like this, up and over. Your other hand follows and hits his head here. Then a clothesline to the midsection. I evade, strike, clothesline. The point of impact on the clothesline will be your forearm. Striking his midsection can break ribs or solar plexus and will certainly knock the wind out of him, and eventually backwards. It is very important to evade his punch, as your feet must be faster than your hands for this technique to be effective. Here is another counter against a punch. The opponent attacks you with a right. Parry the punch and pull their arm down while you hit the back of his head with your other hand. Now clothesline him in the throat. This is a more damaging technique than hitting him in the body. When you do this technique, dodge, bring them down and strike. The neck is particularly vulnerable, so be very careful when you practice this technique. The setup for this technique is the same as punch counterattack 15, but instead of a clothesline to the body, you soften him up with a palm strike to the body. After the palm strike, grab his arm and neck and turn him counterclockwise and down. Watch again. You catch and turn. When you turn him, his own arm provides you with the leverage to spin him. Just push him on the back of the elbow to spin him. Your opponent will attack you with a right punch. Dodge right while you simultaneously block their punch with your left and strike them in the neck with your right. Reach around and grab the back of his neck and turn his head down into your armpit. With your left arm, bring his arm down to your body and lock his wrist at the elbow. Now twist his neck as you bring them down to the ground. As your opponent goes down, take his arm and wrap it around his neck. Apply pressure to his shoulder while pinning his right wrist to his neck. Place your right knee against his back. If you have performed this correctly, you can twist his wrist here. When you have locked him down like this, he will not be able to escape. When an opponent punches, move like the beginning of Punch Counterattack 18. When you get to this point, you can press down on his arm and neck. Or you can bring your own arm back to bend his arm. If you don't bend his arm, press down on his neck while you turn his head with your forearm. And rotate your left hand down like you are accelerating a motorcycle. At this point, your opponent is locked. And you can take him to the ground and lock up his arm like this. Wrap his arm around your right forearm and then grab your left arm to lock his arm down. Make sure you grab your own wrist. When you get here, twist and turn to take him down. It is important to use your forearm to hit and turn his neck. That is what gives you the leverage you need to take him down to the ground. Twist and turn with your forearm. This technique is a variation of the Punch Counterattack 19. The initial dodge and block are the same. At this point, your right hand will come under his arm to his elbow. Bend and twist his arm back like this. When you get here, rotate your grip on his arm and then with your right hand, grab him by the neck. You will strike his neck as in Punch Counterattack 19 with a knife hand. His elbow is pinned on the top of your arm, and he is locked and helpless. Pull his wrist back and down, and he will go down. And there is nothing he can do. When your opponent punches you, you will dodge left and parry with your right. You will parry with your forearm, knocking his punch away from you. Pull your arm back and grab his wrist. Pull in the direction of the punch, and this will pull him off balance like this. Grab his right leg at the knee and lift up as you pull his arm down and back. This simultaneous up-down motion is very important.